the one, the only, Benzion. Good afternoon and welcome to Yeshiva YouTube Table Enabled Shulchan Aruch Yomi. Today, starting a new week, Siman Reish Chaf Aleph 221. It's good to be back to a new week of Shulchan Aruch Yomi. It's been almost a month and a half, 2 months since we've had a regular week of Shulchan Aruch Yomi. Today's Siman is a short one. Birchas Hodas HaGshamim. For some reason, it's still raining here in Israel. On Shabbos, it rained here in Israel, which is highly unusual. I mean, even though the first 3 months of the winter didn't rain at all, barely here in Israel, last 2 months, past the February, March, April, and starting May tomorrow, at least through April, it's been raining, which is highly unusual. Usually around April 1st, it stops. So we'll talk about the bracha hodas geshamim. Aleph, mayu b'tzar ma'achmas asiras geshamim. Let's say there was a famine because they didn't have water. Now, we're going to see in a place where it rains a lot, there's no bracha. A place where it doesn't rain and you need rain and it's not coming down. Once it does come down, even though the amount that fell of rain is not enough in order to grow the crops, which is why you need the rain. Nonetheless, if there's so much, if you look, sometimes when it's raining really hard, right, the puddles form on the ground, and when the raindrops hit the puddles, right, drops of rain, jump up from the puddles and hit the drops coming down. That's the point where you know it's enough rain to make the bracha. Nowadays, pretty much no one makes the bracha. The Ramah was talking about Eastern Europe. Eastern Europe, they had rain fairly regularly, maybe more than New York, the tri-state area. In Israel, where, this halacha is really supposed to be for, usually during the summer there's not too much rain, but you have winter during the winter months. If you don't have rain during the winter months, it used to be a problem, but now with desalination here in Israel, it's not even a problem anymore. If it doesn't rain the whole winter, pretty much. They just have to transport water from some places to other places to irrigate these fields. But Israel has a surplus of water. They're even shipping water to Jordan in return for solar energy. So I don't think even in Israel you'd say the bracha nowadays. Be'ezu ma mevarich. What bracha do you make? If there's no sada, if you don't have your own field, you're not growing crops. So it's a general bracha. We thank you for every drop that you gave us. If our mouths were filled, right, which sounds from nishmas, right? You continue with the refrain from nishmas. The God we owe a lot of thanks to. Now, let's say you have your field, right, which is the rain is just a nice thing that other people should have crops, right? They should fill up the supermarkets you could buy. If your actual parnasa, your livelihood depends on the rain. If you have a field, a partnership with another person, Mavarich, Hatov V'Meitiv. You make a bracha Hatov V'Meitiv. Hashem's good. He's good to you, and He's meitiv to other people also, to your partner. Mein lo shutuf b'sada. Let's say you're the sole proprietor of a field. Mavarich shechianu. Then you make shechianu. Hagav yeshamim dashameya sheyareg sham mavarich Hatov V'Meitiv. The Rama adds that even if you're not present when the rain falls, but you heard that rain fell in your field that you owned with a partner, you make a Hatov V'Meitiv once you hear that, because you make it on the Besuros Tovas, hearing the good news. You have a partnership with someone in the field. So you say Hatov V'Meitiv. I believe that's the accepted halacha. Actually, the Mishnah Berurah actually says Safek brachos lahaka. Maybe you shouldn't say it if you're shomeh. It's a maklokes. The Ramah is a subject of maklokes. According to Mishnah Berurah, you would not say it if you hear it. You only have to presently see your field getting the rainfall, and probably the other person has to be there. Just like when you say Hatov V'Meitiv on wine, a new wine that's brought to your table. We learned earlier in Hilchos Seuda that if you drink a new wine with somebody else at the table together, then you make Hatov V'Meitiv. Stay tuned for Ian to lean on, right? Talk about why this is really not just the subject of this halacha, but in general, when you have a simcha, that you make a shechianu. If it's a simcha just for yourself, you make shechianu. If you're sharing the simcha with another person, you make a tov v'metiv. Why is it that they institute a special bracha, a tov v'metiv? And specifically, why do you only say the word tov when it's two people or more? Why isn't it considered tov? Even if you have a baby, if you have a baby girl, it's only good for one person. It's good for the wife. The husband wants a boy. So, Shechianu, you say, if you have a girl, if you have a boy, you say a tov v'metiv. Why is that? Why is tov v'metiv when there's a partnership? And you don't even mention the word shachanu, kianu, yanu, lasman. I think you don't say the word tov at all when it comes to a personal happiness. We'll talk about the underlying reasons in Ian to lean on coming up next.